Hey everyone, it's Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend, and in today's video, I'm going to do another issue of my Bookie Babe book reviews. I recently read number 11 of my 12 book challenge for 2021. I didn't quite get to number 12. I'm about halfway through it, but that's all right. We'll try again this year, try again in 2022. But book number 11 was It's Not Okay by Andi Dorfman. Now, I think I've talked a little bit about this here in the channel, but I am or was a pretty big fan of the Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise. I'm a little bit behind on the recent seasons, but I really started watching it in Juan Pablo's season, and you meet Andi in that season. And I really liked Andi. I thought she was spunky and independent, and I really, really liked that about her. And then when she became the Bachelorette, I was pretty happy about it. And I enjoyed watching her season of the Bachelorette and have followed her on Instagram and stuff since then. I picked up her book and I was not too sure like what it was going to be. And I kind of read the premise and I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this book a try. And I read it so fast, read it in about a week, and it was so good. I'm glad I read it in 2021 and didn't wait, honestly. You can kind of find this book everywhere. I honestly picked it up at my usual go-to, Half Price Books, gently used bookstore. But it was really good. I know you can find it on Amazon as well. It's still wide. Like, this is a newer book. I want to say, let me check. I can tell you when it was published. Actually, it was published in 2016. So, really new book, only came out about 6 years ago, and I'll go ahead and talk about why I like it. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. As always, in the comments, let me know if you have any must-read books, books that you want to see me read and review. Let me know. My list and my shelf is accumulating, but that's okay. I am getting really back into reading, and I love it. And this was a really good book to add and would be one that I would recommend everybody add to their collection. So for those of you not familiar, like I said, Andi Dorfman was a contestant on The Bachelor, and then she then became the star of The Bachelorette. And she found love, and sadly that love has come to an end. And this book tells about her whole journey throughout the entire experience. So from being casted as a contestant on The Bachelor to being the star of The Bachelorette and the whole whirlwind of that experience in general. One of the things I loved about the book was that she kind of dives into what it's like to be a contestant on The Bachelor and Bachelorette. They aren't allowed to have their phones. They're only allowed like 2 suitcases of clothing, and they have this extensive list of what to pack and all of that. I loved all of that, like behind the scenes knowledge. And if you're a Bachelor fan, you'll like that as well. She doesn't use any names in the book, so I'm going to try not to do the same, but she talks about her friends that she met on the show. She talks about and how like they became truly real life friends, which I have always said ever since starting to watch The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Like, the amount of friendships that come out of the show is uncanny, and the amount of relationships that spawn with other people in Bachelor Nation that were not on their own season is also fascinating to watch. And the whole Bachelor Nation is like just this intertwining web of people and friends and acquaintances that the amount of friendships that spawn is always so fun to watch. And sometimes those relationships are better than the one that's playing out on the main screen, if I'm being fully honest. But anyway, this is a how-to guide of sorts. It's called It's Not Okay, Turning Heartbreak into Happily Ever After. Happily Never After, excuse me. Now, I am not going through a heartbreak right now. However, I have been there. I've experienced those feelings. I've experienced those emotions. Even though I'm not currently going through it, I can still relate to the experience, and I can still relate to what she's feeling. And honestly, I feel like the message that she spreads and the how-to guide that she gives in this book is applicable to things more than just heartbreak. If you lose your job, if you get fired, if you get laid off, if somebody in your family dies, like a pet, or you lose somebody really close to you, lose a friend, like all of that can still cause the same emotion. Maybe not as extreme as losing a fiance, like Andi does in the book and what she talks about her experience, but like any sort of grief or loss can be like, you can use some of these tips. She gives playlists, she gives like goals, New Year's resolutions, like all of these things that are just how to get out of bed, how to get up and put your high heels on and rock it and be like a boss babe. And I just love that she's been that type of personality ever since she came into our media airwaves, and I just like that that has not changed. She admits, she was down and out, but she's back. And her Instagram is the same. She's very inspirational towards women. She's very motivational towards women, women, empowers herself, which is great. It says in the book, like at the very end when she is talking about like the author's notes or whatever, it says she's kind of dating again, but I don't know if that's true or not. She's been very private, which is her right, and she has the right to do that. So anyway, I thought this was very practical. I thought it was funny. I thought it was like just the perfect go-to book for any woman who has ever struggled with some sort of anxiety, some sort of feeling not good enough, some sort of feeling a little bit less than what you're worth because of a boy, because of a loss, because of a job, because of a boss, anything. This is really a great how-to guide of how to get back up and how to take control of those situations. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was inspirational. Like I said, I thought it was funny. It was a quick read because it's all written in like diary entries. So she tells over the course of 60 days. And how she kind of picked herself back up and how you can too. And she like talks as if she's a motivational speaker, but like a real life motivational speaker who drinks wine and eats takeout and different things like that. So it's funny and she's real, she's raw, and I really, really enjoyed it. I would give this book a 9 out of 10. Really, honestly, I don't even know if there's anything that I don't like about it. I don't know why I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. Other than maybe, yeah. I mean, I guess that's the only reason why I would give it a 9 out of 10 is because the majority of the book is about heartbreak and how, like, she has a little rebound moment and that sort of thing. If that's what you need in your life, then for you it's a 10 out of 10. But that's the only thing that for me I could not 100% relate to because I'm not in that situation, and that one piece of it is something that I don't know if I would ever have the courage for. But she even says that in the book. She says, if this is not you and this is not your personality, then try this instead. So I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was very fresh, very raw. It does, like, it's a true story. So it could be categorized as like a nonfiction text, autobiographical. And she wrote it about herself. She wrote it about her experience, but it's definitely, I can see it being very, very helpful to lots of women of all ages. And like I said, of all types of loss and insecurity. So It's Not Okay by Andi Dorfman. I give it a 9 out of 10, but other people probably would give it a 10 out of 10. If you are going through this exact same experience right now in your life, it's a 10 out of 10. For me, it's a 9 because I have had some of those experiences in the past. Obviously, I've never been on national television, but it was fun being able to like live vicariously a little bit through her in this book. I loved it. Definitely try and find a copy. If you're local or like and you're watching this video, you're a friend of mine or something, I'll definitely let you borrow it because it is a good one. As always, thanks you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned in this series. I'm going to continue my 12 book challenge this year. And I'm going to keep trying to meet it, trying to do one book a month. So we'll see if I can get there this year. I really technically should do 13 this year because I didn't quite make it last year. So we got to finish the one that I started and then add another one. So I'll probably try and do 13 this year, but keep it here, guys. Let me know if there's any books that you want me to read and review in the comments, or you can shoot me a message on Instagram at your geeky girlfriend. And until next time, bye-bye.